Hey everybody, I'm Pastor Darren with Grace Centers of Hope and Grace Gospel Fellowship, and I want to welcome you to another Grace-centered podcast. We've got another great story for you today that I think will be a great encouragement to you, but I do want to let you know if you want to learn more about Grace Gospel Fellowship or Grace Centers of Hope, you can go to our websites, which is gracegospelfellowship.org or gracecentersofhope.org. And you can learn more about us there, or maybe you want to support our ministry and the work that we're doing. We would greatly appreciate that. But I do want to introduce you to Jerry. Jerry is with us today. You can say hi, Jerry.
Hey.
Jerry is the men's director at Grace Centers of Hope, and he's just got an incredible story that I know you guys will be blessed with. And so I'm glad to have the time to sit down. Thanks, Jerry, for your willingness to sit down and chat a little and tell us your story. So I'm just going to hand it over to you. You go ahead and wherever you want to begin. I'm sure people are on their edge of their seats waiting.
Right. So before I came to Grace, I was a heroin addict for 20 years. Lots of treatment centers, in and out of jail. I pretty much tried every route. I was on methadone for 6 years, Suboxone, pretty much everything. Before I came to Grace, I was a journeyman plasterer, and that's pretty much where my identity laid. It didn't, in my mind, it didn't matter how messed up my life was, because I can say I'm a plasterer. I make decent money, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
What's a plasterer do?
So
a journeyman plasterer.
So here, it's not what you think, just like
a mutter?
Pretty much, but we do like building exteriors, hotels,
like the outside.
Casinos. Yeah, it's like that stippled, textured finish.
So, and you did that here, right?
Yeah, in Michigan.
So I think I know what you're talking about.
So out west, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah, but here it's
like
called
in the warmer
EFIS.
climates?
Yeah. But here it's called EFIS, Exterior Installation Finishing Systems, and you put the foam board up on the building and you make different shapes.
Yeah.
You sand it all flat, and then you trowel cement over it with fiberglass mesh, and then you go back and you hand apply the finish with different textures.
Interesting. So you were a journeyman plasterer.
Yeah.
And
I did that for a long time.
It's a good job.
It is a good job.
Mm-hmm.
It paid the bills. You know, when I got into it, I wasn't addicted to drugs. I hurt my back.
Yeah.
I started taking pain pills. And at the time, I wasn't really, I wasn't into anything like that. And I didn't want to take it. I was at a family barbecue, and somebody close to me, I was like, hey, man, do you got any, Tylenol or anything? I was very depressed. I wanted to, chase my kids around, all that stuff. And the pain just kind of had me depressed. And he said, well, I don't have any Tylenol, but I got Vicodin. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And he's like, Jerry, you're not going to get hooked off of 1.5 Vicodins. But literally, 15 minutes after I took it, it felt like my whole world changed.
Yeah.
The pain was gone. I wasn't depressed anymore. So I literally thought that day, I just can't run out of these. I got to have these to operate. And then I would go to work, and my bosses loved me because I worked really hard, and I would come home and do all the stuff I was supposed to be doing. So I was sort of getting validation, nobody really knew what I was doing, but I was just thinking this is who I'm supposed to be. And I stayed with it, and I did that for years. I ended up getting sick, dope sick from not taking the pills. And I knew a guy that did heroin, and I asked him, and he was like, yeah, I'll get it for you, but you're opening a door you don't want to. Got it for me, and then for about 6 months I was snorting it, and I was down to $10, and I was sick, and I needed some more, but I knew that wasn't going to be enough to get me well. And I asked him to shoot me up. He said, if you do this, you're never going to go back to snorting it. And he was telling the truth.
Yeah. How old were you then?
I was 22.
22. How old are you now?
48.
48. So where'd you grow up? Not
Warren.
To change the subject entirely, I'm just,
South Warren.
South Warren?
Yeah.
Okay.
9 of Van Dyke area.
And what was your life like growing up and whatnot?
Well, in my younger years, it was, my dad was very strict. We had to do push-ups. We weren't really, my dad had some some mental illness. And I didn't think he really trusts the world, so he kept us home a lot. So we were very like sheltered, and that's all we knew was school and then home. And when I was 14, my dad took his life at the park down the street.
Wow.
I think he was just, he got hit by a car when he was like 11 years old, had a really bad head injury.
Okay.
And he was one of those very proud men. Like he didn't want to get help. He didn't want doctors picking his brains, is what he used to say. And it, it got the best of him and took him out. So
wow.
He was 37. I was 14 in ninth grade. So
yeah, it had to be devastating, huh?
It was, because I knew my dad every day of my life. That was all I knew. He was a pretty hard man and sort of brutal, and he put us through a lot of stuff, but it was my dad, and I still love my dad. He's been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
So going from that super structured life to having all the freedom in the world, ninth grade, I pretty much went wild.
Okay.
Drinking, partying all the time. I was the kid that had the house with no parents in it.
Where was your mom at?
Well, my mom was basically a hostage for about 17 years in that marriage. She wasn't allowed to go anywhere or work. And so after he died, she got some freedom too. Okay. She was around, and my mom, I love her. She loves the Lord, and she's had to grow a lot in her life, but she definitely did the best she could.
Yeah.
And we have a good relationship.
You got brothers and sisters and stuff?
I do. I got two brothers, Jake and PJ. Jake was a Marine.
Yeah, one of them is in a band. That's good.
Yeah, PJ, he's in that band, Adventurer.
Okay.
So they travel around, and he has a pretty good life.
Yeah, they're legit.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
My
My
they're
sister,
younger than you?
They're both younger than me.
Yeah.
Jake's 6 years younger than me, PJ's 16, so he has a different father than I do. So
yeah, your dad, he takes his life, and then you're in ninth grade. That's got to be challenging, man, in ninth grade too.
It was a lot of different. I was sort of embarrassed,
sure,
and just broken, and I didn't want to be that kid. And
yeah, I bet
I sort of turned inward, and that's when I started drinking and found out that substances made me feel different.
Yeah, kind of fixed the feelings for at least temporarily.
Yeah,
or made it better than being.
It did until it didn't. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that got you, and then your mom's she's got her freedom, so she's not really paying attention. Well, I can only imagine what she was going through. So
yeah,
that's where you kind of started with substances and stuff.
Drinking
like that,
and partying, smoking weed, stuff like that. I didn't really get into anything too heavy when I was younger. There was a time like after high school where I didn't do anything. I was working with these guys, and they were working out and like living what I thought was cool lives, working on their trucks. So I started doing all that, and I was totally abstinent. I didn't really do anything. Like I said, then I hurt my back, and I dealt with that for a long time because I didn't.
How did you hurt your back?
Just working.
Doing plastering and
stuff?
Yeah. So at some point, like out of high school or something, you got into plastering or whatnot? What was your relationship like with God? Like when you were growing up
up, I knew of God, but I didn't know God. Mm-hmm.
Did you go to church or?
No, not really. Like I mean, like my dad went to St. Clement's growing up, and they were Catholic, and I really just thought God was something to fear, you know. Like I was going to hell for everything. People are rolling over in their graves because of me, and like all the saints.
Even when you were like growing up and before.
Yeah, I did.
Why did you think that? Why did you think that you were so? Like God
we were
would be
told
so
that,
angry.
You know, like my dad kind of he just kind of beat it into us that we weren't any good. And
really?
Yeah, and I think some of it was like that was his way of trying to make us good. Like you're never going to be nothing. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I wonder if that's what he was told.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandpa, like he died when I was young, but they had a pretty rough childhood. My dad had 9 brothers and sisters, so it was just.
Where'd he grow up?
He grew up in Warren.
He did too.
Mm-hmm.
And what did he do for a living? Or what?
My dad worked at Lafayette Steel as a slitter operator for 17 years.
It's a slitter operator.
That's like they machine those big coils of steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, so yeah, you weren't. I guess my point is just that you weren't necessarily a bad kid, right, or anything.
No, I wasn't a bad kid.
But yeah, he was.
I didn't
still
believe
real,
I was good though.
Yeah. And so then that was what you just kind of believed about God, was that because your dad just sort of.
Yeah, for a long time I just felt like.
Did he talk about God?
No, I mean there was Bibles
Or
in
your
our house
mom?
and stuff. My mom really didn't like. My mom loves Jesus, but I think that happened a little bit later on.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. So. Pretty typical religious, aspect of like, God's somewhere. We should probably have the Bible in the house just in case.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah. So you just saw him as sort of, if he's there, angry or
Yeah. I mean, we were afraid of him.
Of God.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my dad.
Oh yeah.
God too, though. And I don't even know if it was fear. I just thought maybe that was for better people.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like fortunate people, or I didn't know what it was, but I just felt.
It wasn't you.
I didn't really have a lot of evidence in my life at the time. I didn't think, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So.
Yeah, God must not be for me.
Right.
Because
I didn't see
I got
all the
a dad
great things.
I got a dad that's angry all the time, tells me I'm no good, and then he took his life.
Yeah.
And then, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you really have no relationship with God other than that perspective. And then so then you're plastering and whatnot out of high school and stuff. And then
got hurt, started taking pills, and that became a part of my life. Like that was my regimen.
And you said you did that for years, right?
For years.
Yeah.
Till it was harder to get them.
And then what, you just bought them off the street or something?
Pretty much. I had somebody in my life that worked in a doctor's office.
Okay.
And I was getting scripts and stuff. This is before like maps, and they were tracking them, so you could work all the mom and pop shops. And then couldn't get them anymore.
And then why? Because it just.
Well, she almost got caught, so it was like unsafe.
Okay.
And I didn't know what I was gonna do, and then I found some guy that was selling OxyContins. Some guy with one leg. And I was taking those till I couldn't anymore. Yeah. Like ran out.
And then eventually, like you said, you started using heroin, started shooting heroin. So how long did that all go on for?
Shooting heroin?
Yeah.
Till I got here.
And like how
at
long?
39.
Was that?
20 years.
20 years?
Roughly, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So.
I mean, I tried to quit.
All this time, though, you're working as a plasterer. And so, you were able to fund your habit though by working, so that was a pretty good job.
Was so I mean I made, when I finally got up to journeyman scale, like I was making good money, but I had nothing. I remember
just spent it all on dope.
One time I was living in Hamtramck, and I didn't have a car. My brother-in-law came and picked me up, and he's like, where's your Corvette? Where's your motorcycle? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm picking you up in the middle of Hamtramck. You work a lot and you make good money and you have nothing. I'm going to take you to this barbecue. You're probably going to borrow $20 off everybody you can. Yeah. And then I got to take you home. So it's like the world could see it before I was willing to recognize it.
Did he know you were?
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
He was actually the guy that gave me the pills the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he had gotten clean. He passed away since he overdosed. He was clean for 5 years. This is my sister's husband.
Yeah.
So, just a lot of death.
Yeah.
And bad deaths,
So, you were in and out of treatment, you said, right? You had tried to stop.
At least 25 times.
Really?
Yeah.
25 times.
Yeah. I was constantly going to treatment. And, sometimes it was 2 weeks. Sometimes it was 21 days. And at the time, I thought, if I go there, like I'll get well. Yeah. Like it was a car wash or something. Like you just go in one door and you come out the other, and you'll be better. Yeah. Yeah. But I still had the same mind that created the problem, which created the problems. Yeah.
So how did it end for you? How did you end up here? How did that all work?
The way I ended up here, I got a head injury, so like, and at the time I actually wasn't, I didn't have a habit. I was just kind of chipping, and I went to probation, and I knew they dropped me, so I was thinking I got till Monday to get one, and I went down
What were you on probation for?
Home invasion.
Oh yeah, so you skipped all that. How did you so so the journeyman plasterer job wasn't fulfilling the habit all the time?
So I mean, I wasn't like I didn't commit crime all the time, but if I didn't have
just
anything,
when you needed to commit crime.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I wasn't definitely above it.
Yeah.
You know.
So what? Yeah. So was that the only time you were arrested, or? Oh.
No, I've been arrested a lot of times. I mean, that was the only felony.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, like,
you got caught busting into somebody's home or something, or was it like
after?
Yeah.
They
knew it was you.
I told them myself.
So it's always. Oh, you did. So it's usually always somebody we know, right? Yeah.
No, I had somebody take the pawn slip and tape it to his front door.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was just thinking, like, somebody's gonna have to put me away for a long time, or I'm not gonna get well. So,
so you got popped at some point there. Did you do any time or?
No, not any big time.
Yeah, just
I had like 5 years PA 511, and I was at Sequoia for 3.5 years, and Turning Point for 1.5 years. I did it all in places.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it was always for 20 years I basically had structure.
Yeah.
In and out. I wasn't in prison.
Yeah, but you're constantly in and out of programs and stuff, you're saying?
Yeah.
So then, anyways, I didn't mean to cut you off there. You had just left probation? Or you were afraid you were going to drop it dirty is what you said.
No, so I wasn't dirty.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a habit at the time.
Yeah.
And I knew that I dropped, and I figured I'd have it till at least Monday because I was going through jams.
Yeah.
And I only had to drop twice a week, so I took Gratiot bus down a 7 mile. And these guys, they seen me coming, and it was like broad daylight, and they're like, "Hey, you trying to get some dope?" And I was like, "Yeah, you got a tester or a free one?" And they're like, "Yeah, come around the corner." I didn't think it was that big of a deal because it was daylight and there's people everywhere. And so the one guy turned around, pulled a gun on me, and the other one, and I backed up like this. The other one put me in a full Nelson. It was almost like choreographed.
Yeah.
And I had $60 on me, and I didn't want to give it up, so I was trying to fling the guy off my back, and the other guy just kept hitting me in the face and the head with this pistol. So I got sick of getting hit, and I finally just sat down and said, "Take it." So they took my money, my phone, all my stuff. I ended up going back home, and I mean, there were some knots on my head, and I was bleeding a little bit, but I didn't know anything was like wrong.
Yeah.
And it took a long time for them to figure out what happened. Like, I was in the ER 16 different times with like these terrible migraines. So what
after that, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't
did you ever go to the doctor or the hospital after you got
like 16
jumped?
Times.
Well, but like for
not that
like,
day.
Not that day, right? Yeah.
No, I just went home.
Okay.
And
you healed up, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like, how long after that was it that you?
A few weeks, within a month. Like, I was back at work. I was living in Southwest Detroit, like during the week, and then I would come back to the city on the weekends.
Okay.
I started getting these really bad migraines, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I never was had to deal with that before.
Yeah.
Went to the hospital a whole bunch of times. Ended up not working anymore because of it. Like, I started.
What would they do when you went to the hospital?
They gave me like Benadryl and Valium, and treated me for a migraine.
Yeah, you went there because you were just getting a horrible headache.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like so bad I couldn't see.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing ever. So they would treat me for it and then send me home.
Okay.
And that happened like 16 different times.
Yeah.
And it just got worse and worse. Like, I couldn't see out of my right eye for like 6 days. I was in Beaumont.
Wow.
They were trying to figure it out. And they did MRIs and stuff, but they couldn't find anything. And I don't know why that is. But I started to fall a lot. I would like pass out and have seizures, and so I always had like knots on my head.
Wow.
So
Like a grand mal seizure.
yeah. So the last time I went, so I didn't have anywhere to live, right? I wasn't working, and a girl that I used to date like years ago, but we were still in
Why didn't you have
touch.
anywhere to live then?
Because my family thought I was lying mostly,
Okay.
right? Because I kept going to the
Well,
hospital.
but you because you weren't working anymore?
Yeah, when I stopped working, I just went back.
Why did you stop working?
Because I was just getting sick all the time. My balance was off. My head was pounding.
Yeah.
And
So this is like how long after it happened?
months.
Like 3, 4, 5? 6?
Yeah, 2-3 months
Okay.
is when it started.
Yeah, but like when you couldn't work anymore.
Yeah, it was a couple of months.
Okay.
And then I went to my mom's house.
Okay.
And I had gone to the doctor so many times or the hospital, and they weren't doing anything, that she thought I was lying.
Yeah.
You know, and they're used to me lying. I'm an addict, and
Yeah.
so it was just like, nobody believes me. I got this stuff going on, and I don't know what I'm going to do about it. And I had to leave there.
Okay.
So a girl that I used to talk to on and off for years said she was doing good. I could use somebody up here clean with me.
Yeah.
So I went up there.
Where is that?
Brown City.
Brown City. Where's Brown City?
By like Port Huron.
Okay. Okay.
So I was up there for a couple of weeks. She lived with this other guy, and I was like couch ridden. At the time, like my legs were very weak. I had an infection in my spinal cord.
When? At the time?
Yeah. During
wow.
all this. Yeah. So
You didn't know about that either?
No.
Okay.
No. So it was like,
All right.
there's all kinds of bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what it was. So I went out there. I was there for a couple of weeks, and she was supposed to be clean, and she went out with some of her friends. I was just couch ridden. I came back, and she's going to watch a movie on the couch. So I said, cool. Like, I was on a different couch, and when I woke up in the morning, I could smell something. And even though I knew it was death, but I didn't know what death smelled like.
Really?
But before I even opened my eyes, yeah. So I looked back, and she had passed away.
Oh, gosh.
I thought it was drugs, but later on I heard it was something with her heart.
Okay.
But so I like crawled over to her and tried to blow in her cheeks, and it was just coming out the sides of her cheeks. And it takes a while for like the coroner to get out there. So I just sat there with her.
Wow.
You know, and then the guy that actually owned the house, 2 days later, he's like, I'm going to take you to the hospital. He basically got rid of me.
Yeah.
Dropped me off at 12 and DeQuinder at St. John's.
Okay.
So I went in there. They treated me for a headache again.
Yeah.
And when I went to
And
get
nobody's going like, hey, man, he should get a CT scan or something. Or I don't even know, like an MRI. Or...
Yeah. I think some of that is because like I probably had a name for being like a, what do you call that?
Still,
like
but they're not giving you anything.
No, they gave me like Benadryl and Valium.
Yeah.
It got me out of there. But so the last time I went there, I ended up passing out in the middle of the ER, split my head open. They did an MRI, and they said, you got a mass on your brain.
Wow.
So I didn't know. So it ended up being hydrocephalus. It's water on the brain.
Yeah.
They put a shunt in my head, but I didn't know, right? So I couldn't stay in the hospital very long, and they sent me to a nursing home.
So it was water on the brain?
Yeah, it was fluid.
Fluid.
Yep. So
like how big? How big was it?
I don't know, big enough to change
mess
everything
up your
for me.
whole life. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they sent me to a nursing home.
Okay.
In Centerline. I was there.
So they put a kind of go back here. Start a minute.
They didn't put the
a lot of
shunt in
people.
yet.
Oh, they did. Okay, yeah.
They didn't yet.
So what did they do that day when they did an MRI? They're like, you got water on it, or you got
they kept me for a
brain.
couple of days, and then they scheduled a brain surgery for me, but I couldn't stay there. They had to send me to a nursing home.
Okay.
Right, I had nowhere to go, so I was there, and that place just pretty much like they didn't do well for me. Let's just say that. And I was laying in my own puke for like 3 hours, and the old guy that was in the room with me called 911.
Wow.
Yeah. So they took me to South Macomb at 12 in Hoover. And then a week later, they sent me to that hospital in Southfield. I can't think of the name of it. It starts with a P. But that's where I had my brain surgery.
Okay.
Right. So they
Providence?
Providence.
Yeah.
Yep. So they put a shunt in my head.
Yeah.
I'm in the hospital. As soon as I was up in a walker, because I hadn't walked for a while, my legs were getting weak. When I went there, they said they thought I had spinal meningitis because they did a spinal tap and the fluid was like white. So I'm laying in the hospital bed.
So when did they do that? When did they find they thought you had meningitis? They think that was what was causing what was going on in your head?
Yeah. So I was laying there thinking I'm going to die or I'm going to be like have to be taken care of forever. And it was just sort of like kill me or cure me.
Yeah.
That was my only prayer. I didn't have anybody there with me. A lot of my family, like, I have a good family, but they just thought it was another one of my dope
you
fiends.
gave them every reason to think that this is all.
Yeah. So I was just laying there thinking that, like, I'm either going to die or I'm going to have to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really hard to deal with.
Sure.
And
how old were you at the time?
I was 38.
38.
Yep.
Okay.
So actually I was 39. It was 3 months before I came to Grace.
Okay. Yeah.
So when I got out of the hospital there, I didn't have anywhere to go. As soon as I could be in a walker, they let me go. And I went to Matt's. It's a Salvation Army. It's a 90-day shelter on Mound by 10 Mile.
So you were there on a walker.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically 39 years old, can hardly walk. What were they saying that was wrong with you at the time?
Well, when they let me go, they call it hydrocephalus. It was just water on the brain. So when you get hit in the head.
What were they saying about your spinal cord?
I had a horrible infection because nothing was moving.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Right. So it made it hard to walk. I wasn't walking. I was in a wheelchair. Then I was in a hospital bed.
Were they telling you like what the prognosis was? That like, hey,
Not at first. They didn't know.
They didn't know about the infection because they thought you had.
No, they did
meningitis.
When they did the spinal tap, that's when they said you may have spinal meningitis.
Okay.
And that's when I was like losing it. Like I'd be cool with anything, but I don't want to be in a diaper.
So, but how long were you in this place where?
I was in the hospital for about a month and a half.
But even when they let you go, I mean, you were able to walk? Yeah, with a walker.
Yeah.
And was the prognosis like, yeah, you will get better?
At that time, yeah, it was. So like after then, they had already put the shunt in my head. They were like, you're on the mend. You're gonna have to do some exercises, get your leg muscles back, stuff like that. I didn't have anywhere to go when I left the hospital, so I went to the shelter.
Okay.
I went to a buddy's house for a couple of days, called there every day, and then I got in.
Okay.
So I was there for 90 days before I came here.
Okay.
And I started walking to the little gas station on the corner. Kind of looked like Francis. I was just shuffling. And then, but by the time I left, I was jogging.
Wow. Okay.
You know?
By the time the 90 days was up.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So what was that your kind of your attitude? Was like, I'm going to get better here. Like I'm pushing forward. I mean, you're clean.
Mm-hmm.
And
I didn't know what was going to happen.
What was your state of mind, I guess?
I think God was touching me before I even knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, it was just kind of like, you ever been so down, but it's almost like Rocky, like one more round, man. I just got to try.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what it was like. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know where I was going to go because I didn't know I was going to go to Grace yet.
Sure. Right.
I was just still trying to figure it out and get my body and my mind back in shape.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew Butch.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, there's beds open, you know. So I called like every day and I had finally gotten in. When I got here, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was kind of like first day of school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Just a bunch of people you don't know, and you're trying to figure it out. So I was real quiet, and I wasn't trying to make friends. I didn't even know if I was going to stay.
Yeah.
You know? And little bit by little bit, things just got better. You know?
And you never left.
I never left. Well, I did. I just
Yeah,
left.
I know.
But for a good
That's
reason.
amazing, yeah.
Yeah. I learned so much here, and I think a lot of it is the length of the program.
Sure.
You know, and the guys here, like, they made it cool to love God and be a good person.
Yeah.
The people I grew up around it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
You know?
So, yeah, so obviously, yeah, that was like what? You said 8 years ago or something?
8.5.
8.5 years ago. Yeah, you came in here and then you went through the program, right?
Yep.
And then eventually, yeah, you obviously went into like aftercare and stuff.
Yeah.
Into our Grace Village community there.
Graduated. I was working for a couple of guys around here, like doing home renovation, building decks, just stuff on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did that for about a year, and then I got hired as a midnight security guard.
Okay.
At the men's center.
Yeah.
And like things were good. Like my frame of mind was good, but like my connection with God was nowhere like it is now.
Yeah.
And it kind of bit me like then, because I was working security midnight, so there wasn't a lot of people around, you know what I mean? But every once in a while, you'd have a guy that was having a hard time, and you'd be able to talk to him, or somebody would call in the middle of the night, freaking out, I need help. You'd pass their name along, and then you would see them, 6 months down the road. And this one guy, I'll never forget him. He was like, the classes and all this stuff are cool, but really, like, that phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning when you talk to me helped me. So it made me feel good.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while, and then I moved on to RA, and
that's pretty cool. So yeah, when you first came in here, I'd imagine your relationship with God was still...
It was more of I hope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it was, on some level, it was still like something that happens for other people. I didn't know. And like I said, I always just look for evidence of things. And it wasn't until I was in the RA, and I've worked here for a while. So when I got here, like I said, I was 39. I hated when people asked me how old I was.
Okay.
I was embarrassed to say I'm 39 years old. I'm in treatment for like 20-something time.
Oh, yeah.
And I threw...
Yeah, a lot of shame, a lot of
I
guilt.
threw my whole life away. I felt like when I say how old I am, I'm admitting that I threw it all away. And it wasn't until later on that, I realized, he's using all of this. And it wasn't for nothing. And all this stuff that I went through helps me connect with people. It helps me have empathy. It helps me meet them where they're at. But I just seen it as a big black mark for the longest time. But it really was just I always say the wait wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And if I hadn't gone through that, I don't know how great I would be at this, or you know. So it wasn't for nothing.
Yeah, so you started working within Grace and stuff like that, and then when you were working as a resident assistant, you started how did your relationship with God change? I'm just curious how that.
A lot of it is because even if I didn't feel Him in my life at that moment, I could see Him working in other people's lives, and it was I know He showed up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's the thing about being here. You can always see He's working in people's lives. And it's not just so I had a guy come up to me today, and he was somebody that wanted to leave a couple of weeks ago. He told me look, I don't believe in God. I'm never going to. And he said he talked to you. He went up there. He did an altar call. And today he was like, man, I did it. I've accepted Christ.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, get in here. Come in here and talk to me about that. We went and talked for about a half hour in my office.
Yeah.
And I just said, that is so great. It made me feel so good for him.
Yeah. It's powerful.
It is, because like it was just 2 weeks ago and he wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, and it was hard for him to walk up there, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared my story with him about that, like how many times I wanted to go up there, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, because I was worried about being cool or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And but then I always felt convicted by it, like, why didn't you go up there?
Yeah, you just felt like you should, or
Mm-hmm.
God was nudging you to, or
Yeah, like it was something I
like
needed
make a
to
commitment here.
do. Yeah, and I did, and I got baptized here, and I was telling him about that, and he's like, I'm gonna get baptized. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
that's where it's
so
at.
good.
Like it's gonna feel like you've done something,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to put it, you know. Yeah, for somebody, that maybe who feels like they've thrown it all away too. Like, man, I had all these opportunities of doing something in life, and then it feel totally unproductive. Like maybe this is a good decision that I'm making, and
I felt like I was never gonna be as good as I could have been.
Mm-hmm.
And the weight of that just sort of made it hurt to be alive.
Yeah, a lot of regret,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just miserable. Living in the past, living even your best days still like a little low grade,
Yeah.
you know, just like
You're just
like
on E all the time.
Yeah, like a low grade infection that your body's still fighting off all the time, you know? Like you can't, even your best day is not really the joy that you wish you had. And so I mean, obviously somewhere in there you committed your life to Christ, and you just kept working here. Eventually, probably became a case manager.
Yeah, I was so I started in security, then I was a resident assistant, then I was intake coordinator, case manager, then director.
Yeah. And so obviously some really cool things have happened in your life the last year or something. Right?
Yeah, I got married.
Okay. Yeah. What's married life like?
It's great.
Yeah. Had you ever been like had you ever been married or have kids?
I'd never been married.
Okay.
I had some long relationships.
Yeah.
But
did you have kids?
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And so how old are your kids? I should have asked you.
They're older. They're in their 20s.
Okay. Yeah. And so what's married life like?
It's great. It's funny most of the time. Like we just laugh a lot. She always does like crazy stuff. I think I told you guys about like she was hiding under the bed and grabbed my foot, and I was like, "What's going on here?" I'm like, "You're too old to be scaring me all the time." So now like when I get out of the shower, I'm like, "Babe," I holler down the stairs to make sure she's not under the bed.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
You probably never would have thought 10 years ago or 8 years ago, or especially when you're sitting in that what was it, a rehab facility, where you
nursing home?
Yeah, the nursing home.
Yeah.
You probably never would have thought you'd be where you are today.
No clue. A lot of times it's still like mind blowing for me.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, it's a good life. I'm happy. I never thought I could be loved. You know, or love.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's a good life. It's a full life. It's a busy life. But I'm happy. Things are nothing like
when you have step kids now, right?
One. Andrew, he's 14.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a blessing too. So yeah, I'm sure you probably share that with guys a lot, right? That are probably like in the same guy you were talking about at that place that they're just throwing in the towel or whatever, and like, man, you just gotta.
Like, I messed up so much. Like I don't even know if I have enough time to make something out of this life.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I actually think about that quite a bit. Like, I'm 50 now, and so you're right behind me, but. I do notice myself thinking about that, like just in terms of like time and the importance of it. You know, the older you get, I think you just very naturally begin to. There's just so much today that I don't care anymore. We're like 15, 20 years ago. I would have just like been way too prioritized on stuff that just didn't matter, and or stuff that would bother me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The older you get, I don't
tell
care.
guys that all the time.
I just don't even care.
Yeah.
And it's part of that is, I think, you begin to recognize, like, man, I have all these grand plans and vision and stuff like that. But then I really begin to go, okay, so, I know how I feel today at 50. So even if I have them, it's like, how am I going to feel?
Right. Yeah,
like
it's different
in 5 years or 10 years. And so, I think that's a good point. Yeah. You just kind of like, how much time do you have? And so, talking to a lot of the guys that are coming to Grace, I mean, you see all these new guys coming in every day.
Yeah.
For those that are watching, maybe you don't know much about Grace Centers of Hope, but there's nearly 100 men right now in our year-long life skills program. There's probably another 50 men in the aftercare, men's aftercare
independent
program. And independent living. And so, you're seeing all these guys all the time, many of which just can't. They're hopeless.
Yeah.
They come in here and they're hopeless. And so what do you tell them?
There is a chance. And I share my story and how hopeless I was. Because I just couldn't see anything good coming of my life.
Yeah.
And we look for wins a lot. I think guys forget what it feels like to win. And, we do little things and we set goals. And once you start seeing them do that, they build momentum.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys winning. And there's a lot of guys like at Grace Centers of Hope, like, it's cool to do the right thing. It's cool to love God. We're starting to have a culture finally where it's not cool to be a bozo, you know, or a blockhead.
That's what I like to get, blockheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good guys, man, that are just, they're living for the first time.
Wow. I know. When I hear stories of people who are like, I see people that come in or come to our church and just are lost and even just lacking purpose in their life or whatever, and see their whole life turn around or see the joy come into them, I just think, man, it just makes it all worth it, or seeing kids, the joy that comes to them when their parents are restored back in their relationship, or it just makes it all worth it. And so what would you say to some people out there that, I don't know, they may be watching, they may be having struggled themselves, or?
I would say give yourself a chance. Learn about Christ.
Yeah, but what if they're like you and it's like they're like on your 20th time? There was definitely a persistence there.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was a.
So I tell guys a lot, like I wanted to want it. It took me a long time to actually want it.
Yeah.
Right. Like when I wanted to want it,
That's a good way to put that. Yeah.
I wanted people off my back. I couldn't get high because the system or the people around me, I didn't want to let down. But I still thought about it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to want it. Like that guy wants it.
Yeah.
But I never knew the difference.
Yeah. I think, I often think about, throughout the scripture, God communicates to us so much through stories, whether it's stories about Jesus or Jesus sharing stories, or like we've been going through the book of Esther on Sundays, and that's a story. Obviously I believe all those things are historically true, but they're stories, and I just think, man, what a great story of how God's redemption and providence worked in your life. I often say, I just wish I could communicate to myself, 20 years ago, 30 years ago with what I know now. It's just like we tell our kids, like, gosh, I just wish you could know what I know. I just want you to know that now. and you wouldn't waste your time,
Yeah.
Being depressed or angry or worried all the time, because there's a God that's bigger than your circumstances. To think that you were at this place of like couldn't walk, everybody has given up on you basically, and you're basically ready to give up entirely on yourself, and beat to half to death, and I did mean to ask you that. Did the doctors ever say like that's what that was from?
That was the only time I hit my head.
But you don't necessarily, that's just interesting.
But I mean, the first time,
and it was like a month after you started getting the headaches.
So
clearly, it probably created some fluid on there.
Yeah, it's supposed to like go into your bloodstream.
Yeah, and it just didn't absorb or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. But to think that you were at that place, and to think where you are now, I mean, it's amazing,
I wouldn't have. I mean, I tell people all the time, like, if I would have got what I wanted, I would have sold myself way short.
Yeah. You wanted a few packs of dope that day, and instead what you got was beat over the head. I hate to say that, which was actually the path that God used to bring you to himself and put you in the position you are now.
That ever happened to me.
What was your greatest day? The day I got
smashed,
with a pistol 100 times. Yeah. Wow.
But it forced me to level up in areas that I never thought of before.
Yeah.
I go to college. I got a 3.8 GPA.
Yeah.
I never got good grades my whole life.
Yeah.
My wife goes for the same thing.
I was actually going to ask you, what are your plans or your dreams, or what do you want to do?
I mean, I like doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not really going to school to chase degrees and hang them on the wall. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah.
It's a little pool to get wins out of for me.
Yeah, you like to learn. I love to learn.
Yeah,
man.
And I like getting good grades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
mom likes it too. So I know she's probably gonna seen this.
Yeah.
But I sent her a picture. I was on the dean's list, and so was my wife. And she sent us each like $50 Amazon gift cards.
Oh, right on.
And I know my mom doesn't have a lot, so the next semester I was on the dean's list. I didn't even send it to her.
Yeah.
But I know
you're like, Mom, it took me 30 years, but I did.
Right. And she's probably just like, I was wanting to give you money for good grades your whole life, but you never got them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that inspires some other people that are out there that just see their life at this moment, or somebody that's in that place that is just hopeless, desperate, can't see the light, that hopefully that speaks to somebody else that, to, look to God. And maybe the worst situation that you're currently in is what God is going to use to bring about the greatest 100%. Good in your life. I like to say that when you come to the end of the rope, that's where God likes to hang out. He likes to hang out at the end of the rope. And
don't lean on your own understanding.
Yeah.
I used to, when people would be like, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I was like, that light's not that bright. It's pretty, like, I barely see a light at the end of my tunnel. But God's light is much brighter, I only seen things the way I seen them.
Right.
And that's not how God sees them.
Yeah. God's plans are always better than our plans. His ways are always better than our ways. And they just and they're usually way more interesting.
Absolutely.
than we could ever make them. And so, well, Jerry, man, I really appreciate you willing to share your story. Anything else that you want to say, man? Or
no, man, give yourself a break. Trust God.
Yeah, and if you're out there, some guy I'm sure Jerry would be willing to talk to anybody.
100%.
Jerry's an easy person to talk to, as you can tell, and feel free to comment in here or call. If you know somebody that needs help particularly with regard to Jerry, a male. But of course, if you know anybody out there who's struggling, have them call Grace Centers of Hope. It's 855-HELP-GCH. get set up. I'm sure Jared even have some time. He hit you
100%.
with some coffee or come in, talk to him for a while, and there's hope because God is bigger than we can ever possibly imagine. He's more powerful than you may be a sinner, but he's a bigger Savior than we are sinners. So anyway, thanks, Jerry, for sharing your story.
Thanks.
And appreciate you watching. See you next time.